New agency to be created to secure national borders. Remedial measures to ensure safety of residents. Good evening, welcome to News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. A border agency will be created to improve and enhance the safety and security operation standards along national borders. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the proposal to create the sole agency to control the entry and exit points of the country has been approved by the government, who urged to expedite the formation of the agency.
Mungkin kalau boleh dalam tempoh 2 tahun ke hadapan kita dapat selesai satu border agency ini penting. Kemudian bagaimana nak mengawal sempadan kita yang panjang. Kita sedikit banyak berjaya tahun ini dengan adanya Eskom di Sabah, agensi yang diberi tanggungjawab menguruskan sempadan. Kita mobilize polis, tentera, pasukan gerakan ARM. Tapi masalah mencabar ialah kerana sempadan kita ni terlalu panjang. Itu yang membangkit soal cadangan kita untuk menggunakan teknologi.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin explained the management of national borders is currently being administered by about 28 bodies, organizations, associations and companies. He said this has been a cause of delays for many of national border matters. Immediate remedial measures will be taken against soil movement detected at Taman Club UK. Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said appropriate action needed to be taken to protect the safety of the people affected and those in the surrounding areas. Now, the report on the soil movement undertaken by several technical agencies would be ready by the 8th of January. The Bukit Antarabangsa State Assemblymen said the Mineral and Geoscience Department, JMG, as well as Ampang Jaya Municipal Council, or MPAJ, was still conducting technical analysis in the affected area.
Saya telah meminta mereka untuk menyegerakan kerana sebarang kelewatan untuk mengambil tindakan akan menyebabkan keadaan kawasan sekitar ini juga akan terganggu, dan ini akan menyebabkan keyakinan penduduk-penduduk itu akan terhakis. Saya mahu memberi jaminan dengan tindakan yang akan diambil ini, kawasan ini selamat untuk diduduki, dan seperti yang saya nyatakan tadi, keselamatan penduduk is paramount, amat penting bagi kerajaan negeri dan juga di kerajaan tempatan.
He said this after visiting a residential home which suffered serious cracks to its retaining wall, and those occupants had been directed to vacate following the soil movement incident. Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin said the move to demolish the affected residential home would only be finalised after the detailed report was received. On Christmas Day, residents along Taman Club UK 2 had to be evacuated from their homes after cracks were discovered on the retaining wall of a house compound. Although only one house was directly affected, as a precautionary measure, residents from the row of houses along the road were told to vacate their respective homes while awaiting for authorities to fully assess the situation. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Bado described the racial and religious issues raised by certain quarters lately as burdening the Royal Malaysia Police, or PDRM. He said that in the efforts by the police to focus on giving better, fair and transparent service delivery to the people, the security force had been burdened by unexpected and petty issues. Elaborating further, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid says such issues pose a burden to the police and they should not have cropped up. He also urged the people who like to touch on racial and religious issues to be more mature in their thinking, as no one would benefit if there is a chaos in the country.
So saya minta lah pihak-pihak yang suka menyentuh isu-isu perkauman, isu-isu keagamaan ni tadi, go back to your balik kepada cuba berfikiran matang sedikit, matang sikit. Akhirnya nanti kalau berlaku kekacauan, kita semua yang rugi, tak ada siapa yang untung.
He said this to reporters after flagging off 5,500 participants of the Fun Ride and Fun Run in Georgetown last night. He was asked to comment on the dissatisfaction of certain quarters regarding the court order prohibiting the organising of a conference to protest the teaching of Jawi script in vernacular schools scheduled to be held in Kajang, Selangor. Kajang Police Chief ACP Ahmad Zafir Muhammad Yusof in a statement said police handed over the court order at about 5 p.m. yesterday. Following that, Chinese education group Dong Jiao Zhong in a statement said it decided to cancel the conference after being served with the court order yesterday afternoon. The Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, succeeded in halting the illegal diesel transfer activities in Labuan waters. MMEA Labuan Zone Director Captain Cik Adnan Mat Isa said 2 ships were detained when an MMEA patrol boat was patrolling at 26 nautical miles west from Tanjung Punai Sea. Captain Cik Adnan said Labuan MMEA found the 2 boats, which were a tanker boat and a cargo ship, moving in a suspicious manner. MMEA personnel then approached the 2 ships and found they were heavily conducting ship-to-ship fuel transfer. Further inspection found that the ships were transferring about 37,000 litres of diesel, worth about 80,000 ringgit, outside of the allowed water limit, as stated in the approval letter to conduct ship-to-ship activities. The crews of the ships were asked to provide statements and assist with the investigation. The case is investigated under Section 419B of Trade Shipping Ordinance 1952-60, which carries a fine of not more than 100,000 ringgit or 2 years prison term, or both. A British woman was among 38 women arrested in a raid on an entertainment outlet along Jalan Perak in the nation's capital. Kuala Lumpur CID Chief SAC Datuk Rusdi Muhammad Isa said the women were arrested during the raid conducted at about 12:15 a.m. today. Aged between 19 to 30, police suspect these women to be working as guest relation officers or GROs. The women consist of Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, German, Britain and Thailand nationals. The raid by Kuala Lumpur Crime Investigation Department CID last night was led by Kuala Lumpur CID D7 Chief Deputy Superintendent Anna Muhammad. In a statement, Kuala Lumpur CID said the police also arrested the manager of the premise as well as an Iranian man and 4 Bangladeshi men. All of the suspects are remanded starting today. The case is investigated under Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Entertainment Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur Act 1992 and Section 55B and 39B of the Immigrations Act 1959-1963. And coming up after the break, financial literacy needed to avoid online scams. Welcome back. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said Malaysians need to equip themselves with financial literacy in order to stop them from being victims of online scams.
Pengguna-pengguna perlu dilengkapi dengan kemahiran yang diperlukan untuk mengamalkan kebersihan cyber yang baik atau good cyber hygiene bagi mengurangkan risiko menjadi mangsa ruang cyber.
The Deputy Premier also said that consumers should be aware of the risks associated with the use of financial technology, and these include falling into debt as a result of making purchases beyond one's means due to easy access to credit and virtual services. She said among the risks of using financial technology or fintech online are the risk of being out of control debt with the ability to buy things beyond affordability due to easy access to credit and virtual stores, misuse of user information by unscrupulous parties with access to user information, as well as financial and social scams. For this, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah said the financial literacy and skills are very important because it would act as the first line of defense from the market injustice. Counting down the days to 2020, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, or KPDNHEP, is ready for the implementation of the Petrol Subsidy Program, or PSP. Now, PSP is a principle of aid which the government wants to deliver via the redistribution of subsidy and will target the truly needy group, and is one of the initiatives to lighten the burden of low-income households. KPD and HEP Secretary General Datuk Muiz Abdul Aziz said the implementation of PSP in line with Pakatan Harapan Manifesto, namely providing a targeted petrol subsidy with a noble objective of ensuring truly qualified Malaysians would receive the aid. Previously, the subsidy was implemented via the blanket method, whereby unqualified parties, including those with luxury cars, the rich and foreign nationals, have access to the assistance. On the selection of the recipients, Datuk Muiz said PSP for the B40 group used the basic data from the Cost of Living Allowance, or BSH, to identify the low-income group, which were matched with the vehicle ownership data from the Road Transport Department, or RTD. He said through the drafting of the policy based on a data-driven approach, the ministry had succeeded in identifying over 2 million individuals who met the qualifying conditions of PSP. Up to the closing of the appeal period on the 30th of November, a total of 346,491 qualified recipients had updated their personal details. The ministry too, he said, had received 480,317 appeals, whereby the review on the status of the appeals could be made early next year before the first payment is made in April 2020. He said his ministry expected some from the B40 group to be left out from the list of the PSP recipients, as they were not in the BSH list. The small enterprise owners in several states affected by the floods who have made loans from National Entrepreneur Group Economic Fund, or Tekun Nasional, can apply for temporary postponement from paying their loans. Now, this benefit was given to reduce the financial burden faced by the loanees. According to Tekun Nasional Chairman Datuk Seri Muhammad Suparadi Matnor, the application must be done as per procedure set, and the applicants also need to provide the proof and supporting documents.
Kita tidak ada masalah. Sebab itu dalam pembayaran balik pinjaman tekun ini, kalau mereka ditimpa musibah, mereka harus tampil, memberitahu, dan kita mungkin structurekan balik pinjaman mereka.
Speaking at Tekun Nasional Back to School program in Tanah Merah, Kelantan, where Tekun Nasional allocated 120,000 ringgit for 1,200 school supply vouchers recipients from 6 parliamentary constituents. Now, about 400 school students were identified for not furthering their studies into secondary schools last year. Now, it was estimated that 30% of the students did not enter secondary schools because their parents did not have enough financial resources. According to Lembah Pantai Member of Parliament Fahmi Fazil, various plans have been made to overcome this particular issue. Among them are collaborating with the Federal Territory Education Office as well as Bangsa and Pudu Education Office to visit the house of students that need help.
Anggaran saya mungkin sekitar 30% anggaran saya. Tapi secara keseluruhan saya lihat walaupun tadi saya sebut di wilayah Persatuan Kuala Lumpur jumlah yang tercicir bagi tahun 2019 ni mencecah 3, kalau tak silap saya 3.2%, walaupun mungkin kelihatan bukan jumlah yang besar, tapi ia tetap memberi kesan kepada keluarga, kepada komuniti. Anak-anak yang tidak bersekolah, sekiranya mereka tidak bekerja contohnya, maka akan timbul masalah sosial.
Fahmi also said that he hoped for proactive measures involving corporate organizations that could be done to overcome the issue. He was met at the Free Haircut for School Students program in the People's Housing Project, or PPR, Kerinci in Pantai Dalam, that was organized by Persatuan Kebajikan Jalinan Amal Kuala Lumpur. A total of 150 students joined the program that were run by 12 trainees from Yat Mara Centre. Now, preparing for the new school term might cost a lot of money, thus providing challenges for the low-income families that have many children who are still in schools. As such, the Johor State Government, in collaboration with several government-linked companies, or GLCs, organised the Back to School program to reduce the burden of these families. Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Dr. Sarudin Jamal said other than reducing the burden of the parents, this could also help avoid students from dropping off schools.
Janganlah ada Alasan anak-anak tidak sekolah kerana tidak ada pakaian sekolah. Sepatutnya semua pelajar-pelajar di kawasan ini mesti dan harus dan wajib bersekolah untuk menambah ilmu. Okay? Harapan saya semoga semua ibu bapa mementingkan pendidikan anak-anak.
Datuk Dr. Sarudin was speaking after handing out back-to-school aid in Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Bukit Pasir Muar, where 400 students in the Bukit Kepong and Bukit Pasir areas received a set of school supplies. The local authorities should step up enforcement and monitoring activities to prevent contamination of raw water sources, which will eventually affect quality of water and its supply to consumers. Water quality specialist Dr. Muhammad Yusof Ishak, in making the call, said this proactive step is necessary following several cases of odour pollution, which of late had resulted in sudden water cuts in Selangor. Commenting further, the University Putra Malaysia Environmental Studies senior lecturer said it was also crucial that advanced technology be utilised in preventing river pollution. He said drones usage and monitorings should be data-driven because he believes closed-circuit televisions or CCTVs are no longer practical. He also said more attention needs to be given to water treatment plants where the raw water sources are most likely to be contaminated. While Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd or Air Selangor Corporate Communications Head Abdul Halim Matsom said the company, which is responsible for the treatment plant operations in terms of production and distribution of water supply, has a team of experts to monitor river water quality. In addition, Abdul Halim said Air Selangor had also taken steps to educate the public to value and be more caring towards the environment and rivers. And that concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, new agency to be created to secure national borders. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.